Hi, I'm Jodie Carlos, and this is our first colour tutorial. Yay! Okay, we've got Heather here, who is my model. Heather was also my assistant at my salon, so yay for that. So she's going to do my first ever colour tutorial, which I'm pretty excited about because I'm using two new products that I have never used before, so that's totally exciting. The first one is I'm going to be using the Olaplex, and yes, it is not in Australia yet. Hair Care Australia are releasing it in February, March. So make sure you head to Hair Care Australia website and get on their waiting list. I'm a little bit special, as you all know from my recent videos, that I like to get things before other people. So I will beg, borrow, steal, whatever, to try and get something that you can see before everyone else does. So this is a bond multiplier, and what that does is hair that is damaged or technically could become damaged will be protected. So what it is it's insurance for hair. It multiplies the bonds to protect it during the colour process. So what we're also doing today is we're going to pre-lighten the hair, and Heather's got quite a light base in her natural regrowth. Yes, she's light, but she's still got some of those golden tones from other previous darker colours we've had in the hair. So we're going to pre-lighten it down to quite a light colour, and then we're going to be using the Pravana, which I'm so excited about, and we're going to be using the Pravana Violet, and we're also going to add some clear to make it a little bit more pastel-y because we don't want it to be too bright. Heather's looking for a job as an apprentice hairdresser, so we know that she can rock this because she's going to look like a hairdresser finally, and because she hasn't worked in a salon for a while with me, we're kind of looking a little bit drab, aren't we, babe?
Yeah.
And she's been sick too, so you can see that the hair is quite compromised already, and what we want to do is just get rid of some of those golden tones. So let's get to work. So what I've mixed up is the Be Blonde cream lightener from Alter Ego with a 20 volt. The reason why I'm using a 20 volt because I'd normally use a 10 volt, but we have to bump up the lightener with the Olaplex. I've measured it up. I've used 45 grams of lightener and 7.5 mils of, okay, so I've got 45 grams and then I've got 7.5 mils of Olaplex. So I'll write, if I've got that wrong, I'll write it in the down bar on what the correct details are. So you've got the reservoir, so you push it up. I've already done it. So we're going to add the Olaplex in. It's exciting because I've never used it before. And this is a step one. So it's pretty exciting to be using this. Okay. So we're going to mix this up. Make sure that you mix your cream lightener and your peroxide together first before adding in the Olaplex because it won't work as well. And if you feel like when you use the Olaplex it's not quite working, use less, a little bit less. Because generally it's because the processing time, and it takes longer because it is protecting the hair at the same time. But make sure that you actually do. You can use actually heat with it, but it's advisable in the manufacturer's instructions, which we should always go back to actually look at them. And you've got to check it every 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, so we're going to start at the back. We're not actually going to pop it straight on the roots yet, because main reason why we're not going to pop it on the roots because we don't want to get hot roots. And everyone knows what hot roots are, is when they get really bright and the ends are. So Heather's going to need a haircut. But I've heard some real amazing stories on the Olaplex page on Facebook about how clients haven't needed a haircut after Olaplex. But Heather's going to need one because she needs a bit of shape and style, don't we, babe?
Yeah.
So get your gloves on. I hate gloves, but when I'm using bleach or anything like that, or it's only the toners I really do really bad with putting gloves on. So you start at the back and bring your trolley closer to you if you can. Okay. Make sure that Olaplex is mixed in really well. I said, we're not going to go towards the roots. Going to push it through. A lot of people love the Pravana neons but struggle to remove them. My advice is when you're actually removing Pravana neons, if you've got a colour that is not shifting, like a green or a blue or that kind of thing, I would totally advise, I should be wearing an apron because I just got covered on my pants. Okay, besides that, you should, what I advise is get your colour range in, because a lot of people will go straight for the bleach to try and lift a colour out. Please don't do this. I see this all the time on these group pages where amateurs are bleaching, trying to bleach Pravana or Fudge or any of those brands out, and then they're finding that it's not doing any good. It's actually driven the pigment more into the hair. Please don't bleach it. You're compromising it more. So I advise you to use a clear tint or a neutral in your colour range, and just a 10 volt, and just watch it, and it should lift up fairly well. And you can even use Olaplex in it, and that will help you immensely with that. Otherwise, the other thing is, in Wella they have 12/0 and 10 volt. Leave it on for 9 minutes, but watch it in between, and that will remove the colour. But please, please, please do not do it. But I do advise to use the Olaplex in it. As I said, we're not going anywhere near the roots. You could just lighten this up and leave the roots and give that really cute shadow, and that gives a really funky look these days. People are wanting that shadow, but we're not going for that. We're going for full-on blonde, I think. We want to be full-on. But the one good thing is you can always prepare, research, ready for the product when the product comes in, so you can come in and get your clients excited about to use this product, because they're going to be having an add-on price, and once they use it the first time, they're going to want to use it every time. My advice is I would probably charge $40 per application that you put Olaplex in the hair. It's not a cheap product, but we need to make some profit too, because we are going to going to the trouble to actually add this in. So I'm going to continue to go through on this, and then once I've gone through all the ends, I'll watch it, and then I'll start adding it to the regrowth area. And then once I've done that, I will rinse it off, and I will come back, and I'll see you then. Hi, we're back, and what I've done is I left it on for about 15 minutes. I rinsed, and then I toned with the Be Blonde Platinum toner, and we've dried it off. We've totally rinsed it. We've got no conditioner, no nothing. We didn't do the number step 2, mainly because we're going to do the Pravana now. It doesn't look great at the moment, but honestly, we both know Heather's hair, don't we? That Heather's hair would have fallen out by now had we not have done the conditioner, so we think this is great already, considering. So what we're going to do is, I've mixed in the violet Pravana and the clear to get the colour match that we wanted. We sat there, and every time when you add clear into product, get a piece of paper and keep dabbing it on and see until you get, because it's pretty clear to swatch once you actually do that. I'm going to be using the new pop-up foil sheets from Foil Me. So, and they're got a texture to it, so they're going to stay in place. So mainly we're not going to worry about the top section, we're going to worry about the back section, and we will section that off. So I've added in a little bit of Olaplex today into the Pravana mix for the main reason of just making sure it works, and then we'll do the number 2 afterwards. So because we're only concentrating on the bottom, get the foil, fold it over, put your foil in, and pop it around here. I'm not going to weave or anything like that. I'm going to pop the foil down. Going to just place there, that just to get the wetness in. Just down that section. Paint and make sure that it's, as Guy Tang would say, deeply penetrated. That's so dirty. He's a very dirty man. And then what you want to do is bring some bits up so it doesn't look such a huge line. We don't like awkward lines. Just put that section back. We want to so like you would a balayage, basically. All this is like the peekaboo underneath. And this is for your client that basically isn't as adventurous as others. You basically want to do this on a client that's a little bit more timid of the crazy colours. This is how you get them into it. So, grab the section, pop a float, up, pop, pop. Fold it over, in, and like that. Paint it on to get it to stick. Make sure you cover it well, because otherwise it will go totally wishy-washy. Trust me, I know how crazy colours work. You've seen my Mode Rocker collection, you'll know what I mean, that I know crazy colours. So, I know that they go wishy-washy if you don't coat the hair properly. Push, 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 push in. And this is a direct colour, hence the reason why we dried it off. It will not work very well if you just do it at the basin. It honestly, Pravana doesn't work that way. Pravana needs to be dried off and pushed in. And just slosh them around because you want to get it in. Honestly, Pravana is about having fun with your colouring, and make sure that you have a towel next door to you, because you want to make sure that you can wipe your hands, because you don't want to get it on different sections that you don't want to tap. Like, wipe your hands, then grab the section that you want. I go with the hair's natural curve when I'm doing colours like this. I tend to go freehand. I don't like regimented sections or kind of like that. I let the hair tell me where it wants to go, and generally by the curve of the head is where I decide to go with, because placement is really, really important. We don't want to worry about the sides at the moment, so make sure you get the sides away. Cleaner sections out. And pop it up with a clip. Make sure you comb each of the sections out. grab each section. Work out what's in and what's not, because you don't want to have to worry about it, and you don't want to be pulling on foils later when you have to actually grab that section. You don't want to have to pull a bit out of there just to get that section done. The only thing pulling you should be doing with the pop-up foils. It's a really, really nice texture, this foil. I'm really, really digging it. This is like the second time I've used it and I'm really enjoying it. As you move up the sections, you're going to overlap. So you're going to grab that section, grab the foil, and Pravana doesn't need any heat. It's just basically 20 minutes on the hair. As you can see in the hair, there's still some golden tones in there, but I didn't want to push it anymore because Heather's hair was already compromised before we even started. It's been compromised like forever. So there, see how we got the solid line there? The colour, that's when you stroke, 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 stroke. It's up to you as the colourist to be that painter and get rid of that harsh line. We don't want harsh lines in this. We don't care for it. We don't want it. Fade it, fade it, fade it, fade it, fade it, fade it. This is the difference between a good balayage and a bad balayage. The fade. Again, pop back another foil. Oh, I ripped that one, but it's okay. I still got to get used to the whole popping up with this bloody foil. Okay. So I'm going to wipe my hands before I add to this section. Because Heather has got the blonde hair and I don't want to destroy it, but we've just achieved, and it'll patchy and long. If you don't penetrate hair deep enough, it's the same as when you do a balayage. You will get spots and patches, and the last thing you want is, generally the reason why a person in a salon gets patches is because they're under severe pressure in a salon. If your salon expects you to get people in and out like a conveyor belt, think to yourself, stop, do I want to be this kind of colorist? And the answer is no, because it makes you look bad. Not only makes the salon look bad, but it makes you look bad. But that salon's already got a bad reputation because that's what they want. They want a reputation for cheap, in and out colours, cuts. Don't compromise your work for anyone. Don't lower yourself to anything. Charge what you're worth. Hence Olaplex. If you got Olaplex if you can afford to get Olaplex in your salon, charge what you're worth and have that point of difference. This is the thing that's going to change high-end salons. All the salons from the cheap ass ones because of one little magic product. Because the cheap product salons won't be able to afford it. Just simple. Besides the point that those cheap salons, and I'll probably have to do a vent on this because this is actually a whole nother thing about these cheap salons, how they don't pay super and they don't pay tax and they don't pay things properly. They got the cheap and nasty products. I think I'll leave that for another day because that pisses me off. It'll be a video of what pisses me off in this industry. But as I said, this whole using different products like Pravana, using quality foils, they're a little bit different, like the Foil Me or Mirror Foil, which I'm normally used to using, and using products such as Olaplex will set you apart from others because you can achieve results and actually you cannot compromise the client's hair, but the other salons can't get the same result as you. So you're going to be up already, and this is going to be the difference between salons, and this is how we're going to see a point of difference. So if you can afford it, your clients will love you. Once they try it, they'll continue to use it. So don't worry about that. Don't be scared to charge that $40 extra because honestly it's totally worth it. Separating the back to the front, ear to ear. And trying to be gentle on the hair because the hair is still in a quite compromised position because of the fact that it has got no conditioner on it. It hasn't had anything on it. So honestly, like, just be gentle, super gentle. Comb the hair through really gently. I think the wow moment will be after we blow dry the hair and see how it looks. Because I think that's where it'll wow us. It's already wowed me the fact that I've been able to do this to blow dry Heather's hair without any conditioner on it, and it didn't break. Just a little bit there. And we're only really going to do one section here because of the fact that you can see, as you can see, Heather's hair is quite fine, and we're going to see a lot anyway. It's all about that peekaboo. This is a long way. When you're leaning on a client's face, don't forget to say to them, "Excuse me, ma'am, I'm going to be leaning on your face for a second. I apologise if it hurts, or can you let me know if the pressure's too hard?" Something like that. Yes. I just sounded like a total idiot, didn't I?
Oh, you sound very sophisticated.
Sophisticated?
Sophisticated and polite.
Would you call me sophisticated normally? No. Hardly. Mr. Cameraman, would I be sophisticated?
Very occasionally.
Just so he doesn't get upset because he's not in the credits. I don't really do credits. Like, the videoing is by my husband, Ian Callis. So thank you, darling, for doing all my videoing. And putting up with having to stand there and video. So if you think it's crap, blame him. I do the editing, by the way. Okay, that side's done. Going to say goodbye to Heather's head. and spin her around. Remember to wipe your hands again. We don't want to purple on the other bits. So just clip up. Yep. Comb it. And look at the other side so you can mimic the other side. We want twins. Heather is actually an identical twin, believe it or not. And you're going to meet her sister in a couple of weeks. Something else that's fun. Penetrate, penetrate, penetrate. Okay. Grab a foil. One last one. Flop it over. Like that. And spin Heather around. Okay. So we are going to leave Heather for approximately 20 minutes. And after 20 minutes, we will wash it out with cool water. I stress cool water because it'll make it fade really, really quickly. Okay, so then we'll apply the step 2 and leave it on for 10 minutes. And then after that, I'll condition it. And I'll be using my magic product. It's going to be in my faves of the month, which is the Terax Crema. So, and then we'll be back. I'll have it all blow dried by the time you come back. And hopefully, fingers crossed that the hair feels like magic. And like Olaplex is the best. So, fingers crossed, hopefully. Okay, we'll see you back in soon. Hi, and we're back and we are done. So basically, we got it blonde, and what can we say about Olaplex? Wow, wow, wow. Basically, Heather's hair was compromised before I ever met her. Basically, through this section, there's always been breakage. But the first time ever, we've been able to blow dry this hair super smooth. Heather, seriously, what do you think?
It's great.
Yeah?
It's so good.
Yeah. It is, this colour is seriously wackadoo awesome. It is a great introduction to anyone wanting to get into the crazy colours. Seriously. This is like, it's totally changed Heather. Like, and with a bit of a cut. With the Olaplex, we feel fantastic. So, basically, I'm really glad that you could join me today. And if you liked the video and you like what you saw, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and subscribe and continue to watch my videos. And the other thing is, if you want to get your hands on Olaplex, don't forget to contact Hair Care Australia. Okay, thank you. Bye.